Hey VC, how's it going? Right, okay, a very quick video, just a mixture of stuff that I picked up during the course of last year which I haven't shown before. But this is what I'm listening to in the background. This is probably my most recent purchase. This is Winston Edwards, who made all those great dub albums with Blackbeard. This is credited to the People's Band. The album's called Democracy is Broken. Now, if you're in the UK, or perhaps if you're outside the UK, you've probably got the gist of it, that this is about Brexit. Don't worry, I'm not going to start talking about politics, but I suppose throughout history there's always been music which has either commented on or reflected what's going on in society, and this is what's happening, I suppose, isn't it? So it's just nice that there's a big fat dub album getting on the conversation. So yeah, and you'll find out for a tenner, nice and cheap, so great stuff. Right, one of my favourite albums of last year was this. This is the Ezra Collective, You Can't Steal My Joy. Now, they're getting a lot of attention at the moment. They're part of the UK jazz scene. They put out an EP about two and a half years ago now, called Juan Pablo the Philosopher. I showed it at the time. My only problem with it was that it was too short. Well, they corrected that with this album here. This is a nice double album, a real mixture of styles. So it opens with a version of Sun Ra's Space is the Place, then moves through a range of styles and finishes with a cover of Shakara, the Fela Kuti tune. So yeah, so it goes from jazz to UK hip hop to R&B to Afrobeat, yeah, of course. So, but I saw these about 18 months ago, and I love this image on the back cover. When I saw them, they had such a vibe about them. They had such energy. I mean, look at that picture. It just sort of says it all, really, doesn't it? I don't know if this is the right word to use, but they're such an addictive band. You know, they've just got such a feel about them. You just want more and more. You know, it's if you get a chance to see them, please do. Otherwise, check out this album. They're getting a lot of attention at the moment, on the back of the, obviously being part of the UK jazz scene, and well deserved. One other, very quickly, UK jazz album a couple of years ago now, I showed this. This is the debut album from Wildflower. Now, I've shown several albums by Ill Considered. Now, there's the two bands share much of the same lineup, basically. So you know, if you like Ill Considered, you'll certainly like this band. This is perhaps not as free, more of a spiritual vibe, but yeah, this is a great album. They've just recorded their second album, which I think comes out in a month or so. They did put out sort of 300 test presses of it, one of which I managed to pick up. Not particularly expensive, but I've been playing this quite a lot over the last few weeks. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Just more of the same, and just as good as the debut, so worth checking out. Right, okay, this is something I picked up in the summer from the Mr. Bongo sale online. This cost me a £5. This is Tim Meyer, Disco Club. It's on the Mr. Bongo label. It's a reissue from an album that I think he put out in 1978. Now, Tim Meyer, obviously a Brazilian musician who tried his hand at all sorts of different styles, whether it be soul, funk, samba rock, or bossa nova, whatever, you know. But this is a straight disco album. The first side is very disco orientated. The second, a little bit more laid back, a little bit more ballady, but certainly a disco vibe going all the way through it. For a £5, you can't knock it. And I'll do a needle drop on this as well, because some really nice stuff on it. Want to show a few reggae pickups as well from last year. This is what I picked up back in November. This is a 45 by Cassandra on the Lovers Rock label, If You're Not Back in Love by Monday. Now, I've been listening to a lot of Lovers Rock over the last, well, 12-18 months or so, I suppose. I mean, Cassandra is one, obviously, the big names of Lovers Rock, up there with Janet Kay and Carol Thompson and the like. So this is a cover of a Millie Jackson tune, which is on this album, Feeling Bitchy. Now, I've got to say, I much prefer the Cassandra version to this. With regards to Millie Jackson, I like her first couple of albums. After that, I can sort of take it or leave it. But yeah, a nice tune, but I do think that Cassandra's version is much nicer. But I'll do a needle dropping at the end of the video. And just quickly, a couple of albums. This is Singers and Players, Leaps and Bounds. Now, Singers and Players were a collective of musicians that recorded for the On You Sound label, Adrian Sherwood's label. So features the likes of Prince Far-I, Mikey Dread, Bim Sherman. Now, this was, I think, put out in '84, which was shortly after Prince Far-I was murdered. So his vocals are on here on a couple of tracks. And I know there's a dedication to him on the back as well. But yeah, this is a lovely album. I think all of their albums, I think the first 4 or 5 albums are all certainly worth picking up. Lovely stuff, so definitely worth checking out, and I'll do a needle drop on that as well. And finally, something I picked up just a couple of months ago now on Island Records. This is Michael Prophet, Serious Reasoning. Now, this is either his 2nd or 3rd album, I think. Yeah, once again, lovely stuff. I played this one to death since picking up a couple of months ago. It's got the nice island inner with it as well. Now, famously, Michael Prophet had a real cry to his voice, a beautiful vocal style. But this is the only sort of early 80s album of his that I've got. The other stuff I've got is 12 inches from late 80s, early 90s, I think. So I was really pleased to find this. One of the highlights on this album for me is the horn sound, basically, which it features Tommy McCook and Bobby Ellis. I'll do a needle drop and hopefully you can sort of get the gist of what I mean there. But yeah, very cool. Cheers.
Mi amigo, ven acá aquí un momento, por favor. Momento, chico. Break it down, break it down, break it down. Break it down, break it down, break it down. I'm breaking down the pressure that they build up my life. I'm breaking down the pressure that they build up my life. I'm breaking down the pressure that they build up my life. I can't take no more of those battles. I can't take no more of those big and tough. I'm breaking down the pressure that they build up in I. Oh yeah. I'm breaking down the pressure that they build up in I.
You can call me Mrs. Johnson to keep the keys for a day or two. Take the early flight to Florida, just the way you used to do. Have room service, bring your breakfast. Make love.